have a question as to whether or not you have a case, you immediately need to speak to a lawyer. I mean, that's the best way to get an answer. I mean, contrary to popular belief, we really aren't following ambulances around out on the street, and every time a siren goes off, we're not jumping in our car or our helicopter and flying in to see what happened. The best way to find out whether you have a case is to contact a lawyer. The other reason you call a lawyer in an auto accident situation is not only to interface with whether or not you have what is classically called a personal injury claim for pain and suffering, but to determine whether or not your insurance company is properly paying your medical bills, is properly paying attention to your claim as your insured, completely and separate from the at-fault driver's insurance company. Probably 25% of my cases end up with some kind of a bad faith component involved, whether it be for delay of payment of medical bills that affects my client's credit, or whether it be by medical bills being ignored and being sent to collection companies, again negatively impacting my client who's already going through a physical trauma that they're entitled to compensation for. Again, the reason you have lawyers is to let our expertise guide you in what needs to be done. I mean, it's as simple as keeping a two-sentence a day journal about how this accident has impacted your life. We hand our clients journals and we say, please fill this out on a daily basis, because if you have to litigate this 2-3 years from now, you're not going to remember how you felt on April 15th, 2013. You're going to have a reference. If you keep a daily log, you have that reference. That oftentimes is the difference between a jury believing that this accident impacted you negatively 2.5 years ago, even though you look fine to them today when you're in litigation. The moment you're involved in an automobile collision, whether it's your fault or the other party's fault, you're both adverse to the insurance company. If you're the non-fault party, you're not only adverse to your company because now they have to pay medical bills up to a certain dollar amount, but you are certainly adverse to the at-fault driver's insurance company because you are going to be making a claim against them. That's why you need a lawyer. You are adverse to the biggest industry on both sides of the coin. And what you get from me is you get that absolute buffer. The moment I enter my appearance on your behalf, by virtue, and it's not litigation, it's by virtue of a letter of representation to both sides, they by law cannot contact you. They now have to go through me. I become the buffer. I become the one that ameliorates the claim as it goes through the process so that you are not being bombarded with offers of settlement, with negative adjusters calling you and accusing you of lingering and trying to milk the system. It all has to come through me, and it takes all of the stress that I possibly can off of you and allows you to focus on getting better and going to the medical professionals that are going to get you better in the quickest and most effective fashion. The other thing that I bring is that I've been doing personal injury since 1980, both in a fault system and in a no-fault system. No fault has gone away, so it immediately became the same practice that I had in Ohio from 1980 to 86 when they took the no-fault provisions out of our law. I have a huge network of doctors that will work for you if you're one of those many unfortunate people out there that don't have medical insurance. The doctors I do business with in town are going to take perfect care of my clients because they're my clients and because I've been working with them for 30 years. That's what we bring to the table in the personal injury setting.